And good afternoon. Welcome to Kelowna Now Live on YouTube and X. I'm Jason Mann with Jim Check, and topping the news this hour. Half of Canadians are on the brink of financial collapse.
Story by Steve McDonald. Really scary stats about Canadians' financial woes, and they seem relentless. 62% of Canadians are struggling to make ends meet. 62% are spending way too much on housing, and 51% would miss a mortgage payment or rent within 3 months if they lost their job. Many Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck. Oh my. The online mortgage search and comparison site Rate Filter did a survey that reveals 62% of Canadians are spending more than 30% of their pre-tax income on housing. It just seems to get worse and worse. And then with interest rates at this height and a lot of mortgages about to reset, some people are like, if that rate goes from what it was like at the low to what it is now at 5%, that could mean a 40% increase in people's mortgage payments. And a lot of people didn't have that room for that, right? And they say mortgage rates, even though they're expected to go down a little bit, the damage has been done to many Canadians. I mean, this is what we're hearing, and I've been saying this for a long time, that the interest rates, moving them up 20 times in that short period of time makes no sense at all, other than if you can't see the damage and the hurt that you've caused Canadians, then you're not listening to the right sources. You're in an echo chamber, and you're listening to one source of information or something, because I mean the public is speaking.
You might say so.
Another story, a good story by Ian Burns, did a really good story.
Yeah. The government in BC is saying that the vaccine mandate is not linked to the healthcare worker shortage in BC.
According to the government, that's what the BC government is saying, that the COVID-19 vaccine mandate still held for public health workers in BC is not linked to staffing shortages. About 2,500 employees were ultimately fired for refusing to comply with the health order mandate issued by Dr. Bonnie Henry in the fall of 2021. Since then, as BC's health has struggled to overcome staffing shortage, some have criticized the government decision to maintain that vaccine mandate even after every other province in Canada has dropped it. The leader of the opposition, BC's United, Kevin Falcon, we had in here at Kelowna Now, told Kelowna Now that there's no science to support that mandate, and accused the NDP of waging a crusade against healthcare workers. He also added at the time the healthcare system is virtually in collapse and we need every worker we can possibly get. John Rustad, the leader of the BC Conservative Party, or the Conservative Party of BC, I don't want to get that wrong, has also attacked the mandate, urging the government to cancel it and rehire terminated workers. But in a major announcement last week detailing plans to boost staffing levels in BC's Minister of Health, Adrian Dix, did not mention bringing back those healthcare workers, unvaccinated workers. Following that minister's press conference, we reached out to the Ministry of Health and asked if they would drop the mandate. The answer was a comprehensive no. In order to protect the province's most vulnerable and overall healthcare system, COVID-19 vaccination requirements for the healthcare system workers continue to be in place. That's what a spokesman for the ministry said. And across the province, about 2,500 employees were terminated due to non-compliance with the provincial health orders, hospital and community COVID-19 vaccination status information, preventative measures order. This represents a very small percentage of the workforce, according to them. The vaccine mandate is not linked to staffing shortages and is strongly supported by healthcare workers, the spokesperson added, stressing that BC is doing very well in recruitment relative to others. A local, Terry Perpulkin, does not agree. She was fired from her job as a lab technologist at the Vernon Jubilee Hospital in November 2021 due to the mandate. They're right now trying to organize to launch a class action lawsuits against the BC government and Dr. Henry. Again, there's a lot to this story. Ian went through and got information from many of the parties involved, and I advise you to go and have a read through it if it's of interest to you. Again, it's a long story, and it took Ian, I think, 3 or 4 days to put it together, right? So, and then she says some of the members that are fired are living in campers in the forest. They've lost their job, lost their careers.
Yeah.
And so
what you've trained for, what you've went to school for, probably what you have outstanding debts to pay for even.
Yeah. So speaking on Monday, Dr. Henry said almost 1.3 million updated COVID-19 vaccines have administered this fall. In Ontario, 212,000 have been administered compared to 176,000 last year. Dr. Henry also said COVID-19 deaths, hospitalizations, and positive test results have all been declining since October. There were 182 people in the hospital with the disease last week. And she said it looks pretty much like a typical season that we're used to prior to the pandemic, with peaks particularly of influenza and RSV. And with influenza, we tend to see peaks after the holiday period in late December and early January. Again, go read the story. It's worth your time to read.
Yeah.
And then share your thoughts.
And Fortis BC customers will see a decrease in their gas bills in January.
Well, there's some good news. Natural gas prices have been dropping. If you watch the commodities like I do every morning, residents across BC who use natural gas will see their monthly bills decrease in the new year. Fortis has been given approval by the BC Utilities Commission to drop its gas rate starting January 1. Customers will see an overall decrease of about 1% or about $1 per month, depending on their consumption. People who use the renewable natural gas will also see an additional increase from $14.71 to $12.46 per gigajoule. That's that renewable. We had that lady in here talking about renewable natural gas, right? So,
the biogas, bio.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a decrease, better than an increase, right? Although $1 a month, better than an increase. Right?
I guess so. Yeah. A Quebec man has been arrested and charged for alleged human trafficking near Kelowna.
Wow. 36-year-old man from Quebec has been charged with multiple charges related to trafficking in persons. In May 2021, an investigation was launched by the Kelowna RCMP's Sex Crimes Unit in suspected human trafficking incidents that allegedly occurred in or near Kelowna and Victoria. So the multi-jurisdictional invitation led to an arrest warrant for Stanley Jean-Baptiste, which was executed with assistance from law enforcement in Montreal on December 8th, 2023. Baptiste has been remanded in custody and has since been escorted back to Kelowna for court. We know, and the RCMP Corporal Tim Russell says, we know that Kelowna is part of a circuit used by human traffickers who exploit vulnerable individuals for sexual purposes. And he said, our investigations remain steadfast in our commitment along with our community partners who have taken a stance to combat this criminality in our community. There you go.
And a sex offender who took children into the U.S. signs a plea agreement.
Another story like this. Okay, a convicted sex offender living in Saskatchewan who cut through a fence to drive across the Canada-U.S. border with two children and their mother has entered a plea agreement. The agreement filed in South Dakota court last week says Benjamin Martin Moore will be pleading guilty to possession of child pornography. The offense carries a maximum of 10 years in prison and a period of supervised release for 5 years. He had with him a 7-year-old girl and an 8-year-old girl, and they were the center of an Amber Alert when they were not found in their home in Easton in southwest Saskatchewan. So the plea agreement is to be considered by the judge. A date for sentencing has not yet been set. So
a Kamloops MP says the Bernardo backlash, when Bernardo was released and there was a lot of backlash around that, should have been of front of mind and prevented the Penticton murderer's prison transfer. We're talking about John Britton, whose good behavior earned him a prison upgrade, I guess, in a move.
He murdered 4 Penticton residents in April 2019. He's now spending his days in a medium security prison. He had been in maximum security since his sentencing, so that's not even that long ago, right? 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, you can go to Kelowna now and read that story. There's more to it there, so go ahead and read that story.
All right. And the victim of a fatal Highway 97 crash has been ID'd as Okanagan winery manager Kane Morgan.
Yeah, Kane Morgan was identified as the victim of the multi-vehicle collision on Highway 97, which claimed his life as he was driving home from the winery to Summerland at around 5:15.
The winery he's part of was Rust Wine?
Yeah, Rust Winery in Oliver. And he's survived by his wife, Jackie, and sons, Cassius and Walker. If you go to Kelowna now, read the story. There's
a lot of tributes.
there. There's a link there, too, and there's a lot of tributes, and there's a link there if you want to make a donation, that will go directly to Jackie and Cassius and Walker. I'm sure they would appreciate it this time of grief.
And a murdered girl's dad.
We've been talking about this story for a few days now, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday that they got somebody with a gun. Turns out it was the
dad.
The father of the 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. Kind of got caught bringing a gun into BC court at Ibrahim Ali's trial.
Right. He had a loaded Glock handgun with an intention to kill, allegedly. And it's a father looking to take justice into his own hands, I take it.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. A man was taken to hospital with serious injuries after 4 people were caught crossing the Canada-U.S. border. Another illegal crossing story here.
RCMP said 4 men from Africa have been caught trying to cross the Canada-U.S. border. Unauthorized in Manitoba, Mounties responded early Saturday morning to report of a potential border crossers in Emerson, a community just 100 kilometers south of Winnipeg. 1 man transported south with serious injuries related to the weather, and 3 others were safely located.
So the question:
found 2 separate buildings in town. They're from Chad in North Central Africa. I imagine Winnipeg is an eye opener for them.
I'm just curious. Do we know where they were trying to cross into the U.S.? So they're going from?
No. They were trying to come into Canada.
Oh, okay, Canada.
And then in January 2022, 2 adults and their children from India died while trying to cross the border into the U.S. near Emerson. Usually the traffic is going southbound. And this time, it goes both ways, I guess, right?
Yeah. And plans for a new rental building on Bernard Avenue has been submitted to Kelowna City Hall.
Again, we seem to do a story a day on this. Another one, a Kelowna developer is looking to rezone property on Bernard Avenue to make way for a new rental-only apartment building. On Monday, Novation Architecture submitted an application for 1531 Bernard Ave for a proposed 51-unit apartment building. This would require the property be rezoned from RUB 4B, duplex housing to boarding to MF3R, apartment housing rental only zone. I think with what the government's going to do, and they're going to say basically,
go ahead.
The city will have no say on what zoning is.
Yeah, that's an eye opener in and of itself that most people probably don't realize, but some big changes coming down provincially that will have the province.
We got a little bit of sports news here. It's not really it's
yeah,
Rockets in the news.
Talk about an assist.
There you go. Good line. Good headline there.
Rockets player credited with saving the life of a man drowning in a hotel pool.
Yeah, Ty Hurley didn't find the score sheet when he was playing in the Kelowna Rockets' first game of their Prairie road trip, but he's already been credited with life-saving assist that he'll never forget. In an act of heroism, the Rockets forward pulled a drowning man from a hotel pool and performed CPR on him.
Wow.
And that's I was going to turn my the 19-year-old told you want to just take that for a second?
Yeah, 19-year-old told Cami Kepke with the CHL.ca that he was waiting for some teammates in their hotel lobby when he spotted something strange to the glass surrounding the pool area. And there was a fully clothed man bobbing in the water, struggling to stay afloat as a hotel employee tried to talk to him and assess the situation. Anyways, he took off his shirt, leaned over the edge of the pool, grabbed him by his shoulders, and ripped him out of the water, he says.
There you go.
But he was in there for a good almost a minute.
Yeah, and then they performed CPR on him. And then the man was taken to the hospital and later confirmed that he was in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries. And they've since made that hour-long bus ride to Moose Jaw, where they'll be taking on the Warriors tonight before the road trip shifts to Manitoba for a game against the Brandon Wheat Kings on Wednesday. Kelowna will wrap up their 5-game Prairie trip back to Saskatchewan this weekend with matchups against the Prince Albert Raiders and the Saskatoon Blades before heading west to get back to the Okanagan.
All right.
Sorry about that. I forgot to turn my phone off, and then it started ringing, and then I was trying to shut it up. And
one of Canada's favorite singer-songwriters is coming back to Kelowna in the new year. Bahamas is on his way in 2024. This is fellow better known by his mother, I guess, is Afi Jervanen,
Yeah, I'll let you do this. You're the music expert.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Bahamas, but it's a great name and a great place to go when it's wintry. He's got a classic country feel. He's born and raised in Ontario, I see. And tickets are going to be on sale for his show December the 14th.
Through Live Nation.
Yeah.
And then do you want to do let's do the Letty & Co box first before we do that. So we have 13 Days of Christmas going on.
Today's last day to enter to win this particular item. It's the Letty & Co. Now this is it's kind of a...
Two nurses created this. Let's see if I can open it up. It's a memory box, basically. Two NICU nurses created, so you can put like items in here, like baby's first teeth, stuff like that. Maybe the soother, baby blankets.
Those photos that you get when they're in the tummy.
Yeah, like your what's that called?
I know we did 3 of them in the last decade. Ultrasound. Thank you.
Good thing Marcy's here. A couple of blanks. And anyway, there's
but you can do this for babies or for weddings or any kind of special occasion that you want. Maybe a lifetime.
We're not exactly the best unboxers. If you're looking, Marcy should have been doing the unboxing. We probably don't even know.
I didn't realize the book was inside. That's great.
There's a book as well, and inside the book, there's some other stuff there. Inside the book, there is like pages that you can fill out. This is the story of you can put your child's name in there. And then I think there even is a bit for a family tree and all this stuff. And you answer some of the questions in there. I don't think we can see much there, but anyway.
It's a great package.
Many pages in this book, and this is one of the great prizes that's up for grabs for. Whoops, I'm just gonna set it all over here for now, and then
to win, look for the 13 Days of Christmas. It's one of the items that is open for entry right now. It's a great little keepsake.
So there's 4 prizes up right now. Have we announced the one winner yet?
We have not. We have not actually announced that winner yet, but
tomorrow morning?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do the first winner tomorrow morning. There will be 13 Days of Christmas, 13 prizes in all. You can go to Kelowna now. You can look under contests. You'll find them. You can enter each one. To win, though, you must be a newsletter subscriber.
All right. And now to the X-Files. What's trending in Canada?
This is Marcy picks an X-File thing, and I guess this one's trending. We got all that terrible news about 62% of Canadians are suffering. And then the Liberal Party put out this. We've been delivering real progress by investing in Canadians because we know the best way to grow the middle class, support families, and build a strong economy. There you go. So if you have something to say, hop up on Twitter there and share your thoughts. And that's likely why it's trending, because I'm sure a lot of people are sharing their thoughts.
Well, they use a funny word there, investing in Canadians. They keep saying that. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Well, we won't judge. We're not. I don't belong to any political party. So I would say that there's an opportunity to share your thoughts, right? They're making a statement, and then we just did a couple of stories that talked about how people are suffering, and a lot of people, 62% of Canadians say they're suffering. I'm sure they may want to share some of their thoughts.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay. Well, and do we have something from ATV, or maybe not? No, we'll catch ATV tomorrow. Okay. But we do have ATV's 5-day weather forecast for you, so maybe we'll turn to that. It looks like we're going to be in for mostly cloudy conditions again tomorrow, with some snow flurries tomorrow night, and then it's going to be a bit of snow right through till the weekend. Friday, though, going to clear up, just a bit of sunshine and highs around 2. Very mild week ahead, and things are proven out here. It's been just mostly a cloudy day. We're on our way down to -4 overnight.
What day is it today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday, you know what Tuesday is? Taco Tuesday.
Oh,
right?
it's hot.
So if you're looking for a night, if you're trying to go out tonight, there's great places to get Taco Tuesday. I know there's lots of places in town that do deals on tacos on Tuesday. I think Canadian Brewhouse does Taco Tuesday. Taco Time, $2, according to Marcy. Taco Time, $2. That's the one in Rutland, and they even serve beer at the Taco Time.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, and there is a Taco Bell in Rutland too. I don't know if they have a deal or not. I imagine they do, but there's a lot of deals on Taco Tuesday, and I also call it Tightwad Tuesday because guess what else is cheap on Tuesday? Movies.
Hey, taco and a movie.
Taco and a
That's
movie.
about
I
as
don't know if
cheap
you can
of a
have a
date as you
taco
get.
at the movie, but like Tightwad Tuesday is usually what I used to call it because you can take your date to a movie, and I think it's like 2 for 1 or something. I don't know what it is now, but you usually get a deal on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave you with that, and we'll see you at 9 a.m.